Welcome to Georgina Life. On today's show, Job Fair news from Roots.
We're eating healthy and dancing boldly.
And Lice Squad is here with great advice. All of this and more on today's Georgina Life.
Well, welcome to a brand new season of Georgina Life. We're back with Grant, and we have a new face, Grant.
Yes, welcome.
Me.
Yes, welcome, April.
Thank you. Oh, thanks, guys.
Welcome to the family.
Yes.
Thanks for having me as part of the family. I'm really happy. I'm really excited, and I'm so looking forward to seeing what this season has to bring.
I'm so happy that you're here because, you know, Grant, what do we always say? We always start off as being a guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, always. Yes, that was my first experience. And yeah, you know, as we've been speaking, it's like season 6 for us. And, you know, we finished off season 5 and the summer was here. And now we're back and we're live and we've got
Yeah.
new faces. And it's just...
And
it's
you know,
fabulous.
I have to tell you, so we're just shy of 3 years from my first time at the Roger TV Georgina studio,
Yes.
where I was here as a guest,
Yeah.
and I was so nervous. I was sweating for days. I don't think I slept the night before. And we did the segment, and it was fine because you guys made me feel so comfortable. But I remember when I was leaving, I looked up at the wall with all the host photos, and I said, I'm going to be a host here one day.
And there you
and
go.
here I am.
And
So,
here you are. And
Yeah.
you're, well, welcome.
Thank
Yes.
you. I'm
Welcome,
really
welcome.
excited.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And so, listen, we have a new season happening, and
Yes.
summer happened, and
Yes.
other things happened, Grant.
Yes, unfortunately, we lost our queen.
We did.
And I refer to her as the Queen of Canada. I always have. And it's really interesting. I've been watching as much of the coverage as I can and listening on the radio driving up. And CHFI was inviting people to call in or text and speak about how the Queen may have impacted them, whether it be that they met her, which I can't bet, like that's not within my realm. But yeah, it's been really just a whirlwind of emotion, I think, for the entire world, you know, and now we have a king,
We do.
King Charles III. And what's really, really exciting for me is we have a new heir to the throne. So we have a new Prince of Wales and a Princess of Wales. So, you know, it's a time of change after a very, very long reign. And what an absolutely, and this is what really resonated with me this morning. The Queen will remain a very strong role model for young girls.
So on a personal note, so my family's from England, and my maiden name is Wales. So growing up, the Prince and Princess of Wales, I'd be like,
yeah.
they're a relative. We all know that they're not. But I always had like a soft spot for the monarchy.
Yes.
And I in my opinion, be it as it is, I think she was the truest example of devotion to duty. Because I
Yes.
cannot think of anyone else that has been in a position for 70 years. And I read a quote over the weekend because there's mixed emotions about her passing. And so some will mourn and some will celebrate, and both are right for their own reasons.
Yes.
So
yes.
sure.
Yeah, social media, there was a lot of mix.
Yes.
Which, you know, I don't think I'm a royalist, but I mean, who didn't love Princess Diana? So that's where it begins for me. But I have always said I would not want to be a leader
Yeah.
with that kind of responsibility with the entire world's eyes on me.
Yeah.
Well, listen, speaking of responsibility, Lisa LaFlamme,
Yes.
Yeah.
who has obviously, I mean, she's a consummate professional.
Yes.
She, and I have it written down here because this is very important. She's going to be in London. She's going to be leading the City News coverage of the funeral, all of this,
Yes.
and covering the entire thing. Reporting for all newscasts on television and radio, as well as daily appearances on breakfast television. So, great person for the job. I think the
Absolutely.
best person for the job.
I've
What do you think?
caught some of that.
Yeah.
And I believe she was going to be on BT at 8:20.
There you go.
And
This
another
morning.
example of devotion to service. I
Yes.
got her job to serve the people of Canada with bringing the news
Yeah.
forward. So she's a
absolutely.
pioneer, and
Great choice.
I think it's a great choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And then we had something else happen.
We did. So I love a good party.
Yes.
I've always loved a good party, and I was very fortunate and humbled to be invited to the Rogers TV Georgina 10th anniversary party last week on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I'm a newbie here, okay? Like, I can't profess to be part of the furniture yet.
Oh.
Look at that
There's
cake,
the cake.
which was delicious. But I have to say something, and this is because I was an observer on
Yes.
Thursday. There were hosts from past and present. There were folks that I knew and a lot of folks that I didn't. But I have to tell you that the theme I noticed for the evening was people were coming home.
Yes, that's
And
true.
it didn't matter how long it had been since you were in the studio. It was welcome home, have a seat, how have you been?
True.
And it was just really, really lovely to see.
Thank you. That was
Wow.
so nice.
Gosh, that's almost made me emotional.
That's beautiful.
And it's only,
Yes.
we've just made a few
I
minutes
know,
in, and
my
already the
goodness,
emotions are
that's-
flowing.
Well, you know, it just let me get my TV persona on here. I think, you know, it was very, very exciting for, especially the co-hosts,
Yeah.
because for Linda and I, after 5 years, we were in a room with other co-hosts.
Yes.
Certainly, Jen Anderson was the first host that interviewed me.
Yep.
Joe was there, and then I've been interviewed by Jordan. But, you know, here
Oh, I
we
love this.
are. I don't know. I
We
mean,
got our
it's-
plaques
We
for
got our
5
plaques for
years.
5 years. And,
I love
you
it.
know,
Emotional.
it was, and I mean, unfortunately, Jim Anderson spoke about my big personality, so that made me smile and kind of kept me from weeping. But I was just speaking with Betty in the green room earlier, and I'm sure, Linda, you will share my sentiment. We do this because we want to do this.
Yes.
You know, we are community,
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about. So thank you so much for the recognition. But, you know, it really is thank you, ladies, for being part of something that's so much bigger than all of us.
I think there's a huge congratulations in order to Rogers TV Georgina. I think it's a milestone for community television to make it 10 years in, and I am really excited to see what the next decade has to bring.
Well, we're really excited that you're here too
Yes.
to share all of this. And
you.
you know, we couldn't do anything here without the volunteers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we have volunteers here in the studio. We ourselves are volunteers. And you know what? We do have one of the best producer directors, though.
We do.
Jeremiah Bratton, we love you.
Oh, gosh,
We
that'll
know.
go to his head now for sure.
But
Oh,
you know
I
what?
know.
It's earned. It's earned
It
because
is.
he's a consummate
It's-
professional and he's good at what he does. And
True.
And
Yeah.
it's tough, and Jer and I chatted about this a month or so ago. It's really, really tough when you've got volunteers that
Yeah.
you want to be respectful of. It's
Yeah.
different than paid employees.
Well-
And you're managing a whole bunch of personalities and skill sets.
Well,
Yep.
speaking of personalities and skill sets, we have a really good show today, guys.
do.
I know. So we've got Megan Bold
Yep.
from Bold Steps Dance Studio, and we have Anthony from Roots to talk about the job fair that's coming up,
Yes,
amongst other
yes.
things. We've got Dawn Mucci from Lice Squad and Superhero Kids Hair Care.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also got Lauren Helmkay, who's going to teach us something yummy
Mm-hmm.
to make, which I think is a really good thing. And you know what, guys? You're not going to want to go away, because right after the break, we are dancing boldly with a Megan Bold and a couple of really amazing, well, 4 amazing little people. So pour yourself a cup of goodness, and we will see you after the break for more Georgina Life. Don't go away.
Welcome back, Georgina. As we move from summer into fall, oftentimes we're looking for a change of focus. Kids are back to school, and maybe as adults we're looking at what we might like to do next. I'm joined today by a regular guest here, Anthony DiGiovanni, community support worker, Roots Connecting Communities. Welcome. It's good to see you again. It seems like just yesterday you were here in the studio.
I know. It was the summer went by really quick, didn't it? It was great to be back.
Georgina Job Fair, tell us about that.
Yes, so coming up September 15th, mark it down in your calendars, will be the Georgina Job Fair. It'll be hosted from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And it'll be at the Link on Dalton Road in Sutton. And the organizers, the Georgina Community Action Table, the Town of Georgina, Roots, and the Chamber have really gotten together because we noticed that there's a lack of employment services within Georgina, but more specifically in northern Georgina, Sutton and Pefferlaw area. So we really wanted to devise an event that connects the employers and job seekers together in one place. You know, everybody's applying online. It can be very difficult, so we want to make that as accessible and easy as possible. So we're bringing the employers in one space and hoping that people come out to join the job fair and find the employment opportunities. Now, during the COVID, you know, a lot of employers, last couple of years.
Yep, we've got an image up here on the screen for our viewers.
Yes. So last couple of years, a lot of employers had either laid off or just shut down their operations. So now as things continue to get, to open up and continue to get busier, a lot of employers are looking for people to hire. So there's a lot of opportunity available. We have over 20 employers that are registered to attend the job fair. Some include Engineering Air, SRT Med staff, the Town of Georgina and Canadian Tire will be there as well. And we really try to focus on jobs that pay higher than minimum wage or occupations that lead to a career path, because we really want this job fair to be as successful as possible for those who are attending. So, you know, instead of having 2 part-time jobs or, you know, working part-time but not having enough income, we really want people to see the opportunities that are available and apply for those jobs.
And I love that. I think the really 2 key pieces you just touched on, higher the minimum wage, because we know that that isn't enough. It's better than nothing, but it certainly isn't enough. And the fact that then to look at a job that will become a career.
Absolutely.
So that also speaks to developing skill sets and a little bit more of those dollars as you're going up.
Of course.
I mean, I'm wondering if the community is going to be a little bit fearful about actually sitting down face to face, because it's so much easier to be doing this than it is to sit down and sell yourself.
Absolutely. A lot easier to apply online, but you know, having a face-to-face interaction with any employer really just gives you that leg up, because they see you face-to-face, they see your emotions, and you can't really see that through a computer. So it definitely will benefit you talking face-to-face with some of the employers that are there.
Yeah, the passion for the industry or the actual job that you're applying for certainly is going to show. So any idea of numbers? I mean, we know we want the whole community to come. But has there been a response?
We have been getting a few responses. If some of our residents have noticed, along Georgina, we have some of our signs up. So we have been getting a couple of calls. We do have a promotion for the first 100 people that do attend. We're giving out kind of a free swag bag. So kind of an incentive to come out.
Give them stuff and they will come.
Yes, exactly, right? So we're expecting a minimum of 100 people, but of course we want as many people as we can possibly help out. Absolutely.
Great. So we're going to have you back. We've got a lot more to talk about, but I wanted to get you on to speak to the job fair. So thank you so much. It's great to see you.
Thank you, Grant. Thank you so much.
Georgina, don't go anywhere. There is so much more on today's Georgina Life. Welcome back, Georgina. So school is back. Now, what does that mean? We're joined today by the founder and CEO of Superhero Kids Hair with Care, Lice Squad, Dawn Mucci. Thank you so much. Last time we saw you, you were in the DR.
Yes, I was.
And it was via Zoom. But, you know, maybe saying school's back doesn't mean anything in terms of the little devils you're going to talk to us about today.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, during COVID, there wasn't much of the little devils going around. But now that people have come back together again, whether they're in school or not, lice are becoming quite an issue.
Okay.
And parents have taken their eye off that ball because there's so many more important things going on.
Yes.
So I'm here to say that now it's time to take a peek once a week and check your kids because lice are back in full force.
And Linda, bless your heart. Well, I haven't got enough hair for it to matter. So Linda, Georgina, has agreed to allow Dawn to take a look at her hair.
And what lovely hair does she
It
have?
is. It's beautiful.
So the first thing when you're checking for lice is you want to have some good magnification, good strong glasses or a magnifying visor so you can see well.
Okay.
And when you're looking for lice, you're just looking around the hot spots. So these are around the ears, nape of the neck, and the crown of the head. And you want to take like a little wooden stick or a pick, and you want to just separate the hair and look along both sides of the hair shaft, and you're going to do 1 to 2 inch sections. All the way around the ears. And then you're going to come down to the back of the nape of the neck. You're going to do the same thing there, same thing on the other side, and then you're just going to look around through the crown. Important too with little kids is the bangs. They like to hide in the bangs, so you want to just make sure you're looking through the bangs. And what you're looking for are little eggs attached to the hair shaft on one side, or the bugs will be crawling. So
Now, I think we're going to bring up some images in a minute, but you said hot spots.
Yes.
Now,
why?
yes.
Because that's the incubation of the egg requires heat.
Okay. Oh, so I see why back here. Oh, I just saw my bald spot. Back here. Okay, and here. Oh, I get it. And around the ears.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Heat escapes to the crown of the head, right? So.
Oh.
It does.
Wow. And you said your own. You had to deal with that as a mom.
I had to deal with that about 3 times at least.
Yeah, it's the second most communicable affliction next to the cold in children.
Okay.
And so people don't know that, and it's so common. It's not something to be embarrassed or ashamed about. It's one of the most common human afflictions.
Okay, so I want to bring up the images because I want to show these little things that I referred to as devils here. Okay, so I'm very uncomfortable now personally.
Yes.
And I'm starting to itch.
That's horrible.
Now that is so...
Yes, so that's a louse magnified many, many times over. So as you can see, they're on the hair shaft there, and they have little claws that are holding the hair, and
Okay.
And these are just other images of lice and lice eggs attached to the hair, and again, that's what they are.
You know, when I look at that and see cockroaches.
I know, right? Little
like
bloodsuckers, little vampires.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just... Okay,
and
so...
this is a good one. So this is a differential. So when you're looking for eggs, they're the brown things attached to one side of the hair shaft. That's the middle picture with the blue background. That's a viable egg. All those other things are not lice. They're dead egg casings, or they're hair casts or DEC plugs, which are just common hair debris.
Okay.
So basically you're looking for that dark egg on the one side of the hair shaft, and it won't move. You can't slide it up and down the hair shaft. The other things will tend to move.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I just... Like, even to hear you say, well, that's just regular debris.
Right.
And I can't work my head around that because I'm the son of a nurse.
Okay.
So if you can't bleach it, I didn't buy it. So I just cannot imagine. But, so you did say, so parents, for a myriad of reasons, kind of took their eye off the...
Yes.
So now, why do we think that lice are running rampant
Well,
in our
because
children's
like any
hair?
species, they're on survival mode, right? I mean, they've had a period of time where they're in a famine state, right? So, I mean, I guess you want to say that they're back in full force because they're hungry and they want to survive their species, and they're probably, something else going on there. But, you want to make sure that, at least as a parent right now, back to school, you're taking a peek once a week, looking at those hot spots. If you catch lice early, it's so much easier to deal with than if you don't, and months or weeks go by, and you have a really heavy infestation. So we would suggest doing that, and not sharing things like hairbrushes, hair items, towels, hats, any of those things will cause the spread of lice and head-to-head contact.
Right. And I think oftentimes, I mean, I know when I was a kid growing up in the dark ages, it was often associated with dirt.
Right, and that's one of the stigmas. I mean, it's not true. They like clean hair.
Super. And we've got some more images of the building, which is so kid-friendly.
Yes, well, this is actually a separate business I just started post-COVID for kids' haircuts. So it's a family boutique-style hair cutting salon for kids.
That's
and
fabulous.
It's only for kids, and they're made to feel like superheroes when they're there. And they get a private hair cutting service, and they get a superhero cape while they're getting their hair cut, and it's very child-friendly. And then our lice clinics is a separate operation, and we have clinics across Canada that service families, and we go into schools, camps, and daycares to do that. So we do the two separate services. That's me at the helm. Yep. Lice Squad's been going for 22 years now, and the Superhero Kids Hair Care Salon is just starting up, and we're actually looking for stylists right now too.
Super.
So
great information. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for the invitation.
A little bit difficult to speak about. Georgina, do not go anywhere. There is so much more coming up on today's Georgina Life.
Welcome back, Georgina. I'm really excited about our next guest. They are a longtime Georgina resident, and their passion is about guiding people to living their very best life. I'm really happy to bring Lauren Helmkay to the Georgina Life studio today. You are the owner and founder of Living Your Vibrant Life and Lauren Helmkay Wellness.
I am.
Welcome.
I super enjoy it. Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad there's snacks.
We're going to make a healthy breakfast today.
Oh, I love it.
I like the fact that you do nutrition, because these days so many people are really excited to learn more about it, because in the news people are talking about the sugar and the carbs,
Right.
and honestly people don't really know too much about it.
No.
And I would think breakfast is probably the best meal of the day.
Well, they're all important. And I think the key is to make it fun and simple, because nobody wants to spend their whole life in the kitchen in front of the cutting board.
Well, that's true.
And looking at all of this here, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a vegan breakfast.
It is.
So it's for anybody.
It is.
Perfect.
Yes, and we've been using almond milk
love it.
to do that, yeah.
So what exactly are we
Yeah,
making?
so we're going to make apple pie overnight oats. And the reason I chose this recipe is it's so versatile that if you don't like apples or you don't like almond milk, you can use different milks, you can use different fruits. So you can make it appeal to the people in your household.
I love that.
Yeah.
We've got the recipe up on the screen, so if anybody at home wants to jot it down, take a screenshot, that's a perfect thing to do.
What I love about this is that it's not going to break the bank to make it. Because a
That's-
lot of times when you think of, prepping big meals or getting things done, you have to spend $300 on groceries. But this is cheap and
Oats
cheerful, and I
are
like
cheap
it.
and cheerful, absolutely. And this serves 6, like this meal right here will serve 6 different servings in a jar about this size.
Wow.
So I'm going to say a victim of going out almost every morning for breakfast because I'm just busy. My life is busy, and I don't have time to do the bacon and eggs at home and everything else.
Right.
So this is something that would be functional for me, that I can do on a Sunday evening.
Absolutely.
And it'll last me the work week.
And it will take you tops about 10 minutes.
See?
Probably 5.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's a good thing, because most people really don't have a whole lot of time these days.
Right.
But what exactly goes into overnight
Right.
oats?
So we have rolled oats.
Yeah.
And it's better to have original large flake rolled oats. It helps stabilize your blood sugars as opposed to the quick oats. Then we have almond milk. You could use cashew milk, any kind of nut milk if you're trying to avoid dairy. We have hemp and chia seeds, and that gives protein, and it helps make you feel full. And then we have cinnamon and nutmeg just for flavor, a little bit of vanilla extract.
Well, I'm not going to tip that because I'll make a huge mess, but I'll hold it like that and hope for the best.
And then we're going to top it with some pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. And you can, if you like, throw in a different fruit.
Well, I'm just going to do
your
this right
taste.
now. I'm just going to eat
If
a
there's
blueberry.
any left.
So,
All right.
are we kind of like loosey-goosey with some of these ingredients?
Yeah, this is an art, not a science. It really is. And yeah, you even after you've made it and it sits overnight, you can adjust everything to your taste. And sometimes it gets a little thick, just add a little bit more milk.
I love that.
Right.
I love
And you
that.
can really add in, so if you don't like blueberries, you can do strawberries or raspberries or peaches or whatever
Absolutely.
seasonal,
Kiwi,
right?
mango, whatever, banana, whatever you want to put into
That's a
it.
good-
You lost me at banana, but you had me right at the mango.
Now, I had a question too, because I remember reading about overnight oats and mentioning it to a couple of friends, and they were saying, you know, I don't know if I'd like cold oats. Can you heat them up?
You absolutely can.
No.
And the beauty of them sitting overnight, though, is that the resistant starches break down. It makes it easier to digest.
Really?
And one of my clients has oats every day, and her cholesterol has plummeted because it is a soluble fiber, and it helps with that.
That's interesting, because I remember hearing someone say that if you have a condition such as diabetes as well, you should be having more oats in your
The
diet.
fiber really helps, and people tend to stay away from some grains because they think carbs, but carbs are not necessarily evil.
Well, I want to make stuff. So
All right.
what do I do here? I've
Toss
got
it
a
in the
jar.
bowl. So literally, we're going to toss everything in that bowl right
Okay.
there.
So we're going to take this.
Yeah.
All right. Do I need to be popping? Okay. So how much am I dumping
You're
in?
tossing the whole thing in. I pre-measured
thing.
it just to make it
So
easy.
how much is this?
That is 3 cups.
3 cups. I'm just going to dump it all into the bowl here.
And how many cups of oats is that?
2 cups.
2 cups of oats. Okay.
And
I
then
love
you're
almond
just
milk.
going to go, we're going to put these on top, but the rest of it you're just going to put in. The apples we can
Like
put
I
in.
just dumped this in?
Literally.
So this is the
And
hemp
this is why it's
seeds
so fast.
and chia seeds?
Yeah.
And chia seeds, they expand.
They do.
Right?
They do,
So
to give fiber as well. Fiber and protein.
I must be a chia seed. And then the cinnamon nutmeg.
Yep.
So here, I'm going to ask a silly question. Nutmeg, so if you have a nut allergy, nutmeg's fine, right? It's just a spice? Is that a
I
thing?
actually don't know the answer.
Oh, okay.
Good question.
Well, 'cause
you
I
know
don't-
what?
It's one of those things we Google.
Okay. Well, I'm going to find out, Georgina. So you just wait. So putting the whole thing in?
Yep.
Okay.
The whole thing, okay. And I guess if you want something else, like you say, it's an art, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you want, I don't know, cloves or something. You can throw that in there too,
Allspice, anything.
So I'm dumping in the vanilla.
Very versatile. Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. And the
Great.
blueberries go
and
on
then
top.
you can throw those in. You
Okay.
Put some of those in.
And then the apples, they go in too?
They can go in too.
All right. And you can play with as many apples as you want, in other words, right?
Absolutely.
I'm going to start
You could take the
mixing.
skin off the apples if you don't like the skin. I like
Okay.
to leave it on. It gives a bit more crunch and texture.
Well, I remember reading once that your vitamins
smells
are
really
pretty
good.
much in between where your fruit begins and the skin
The
ends,
skin is
right?
really important, actually, in terms of nutrients.
This actually smells delicious. And I'm not an oat person, so this is something I would definitely try.
And we were talking about heating it. So after those starches are broken down, you absolutely can heat it the next morning, and it still gets the benefit of having sat
So
overnight.
I'm going to try and tilt this without spilling it out because I want the folks at
great.
home to see what we're doing here. And it actually mixes really easily. The cinnamon and nutmeg smells divine.
It's nice and simple. That's what I like about it. You're right.
Okay, well, if anyone's looking for me post-show, I'll be in the corner having a snack. Okay, so I've
And
mixed it in
quickly.
here. Yeah. So now,
All right, so let's throw it in. You literally are going to put it in here. We're going to sprinkle a few nuts and seeds on, and then it would go in the refrigerator
I'm going to
overnight.
borrow this chopping board because this is me we're talking about here, and I'm probably going to make a mess.
No problem.
So I'm
And
using-
here, we're going to give you a ladle.
Okay.
I
Here.
have faith. It's going to be fine.
Someone, I don't. Oh, see, no, I'm already spilling, guys.
Okay,
I'm
so
already
I
spilling.
have a trick to help you. It's my secret weapon in the kitchen. I have many, but this is one of my favorites.
Come on.
It's a simple canning funnel, and it will make your life so much easier.
I love that. I need one.
Well, isn't that just the darndest little thing?
Wow. This is incredible. So, Lauren, would you say that this is kind of like your passion, making healthy food for people?
I just love having fun with food and eating good food And the more color, the more texture,
I think it's
the
making it a
better,
little
because
too
I'm a bit of
full.
an artist as well. So yeah, I love doing it and sharing it with people and giving all the little tips and tricks of the trade.
I really
And
love
it just
that.
fits in there perfectly.
And then we just put that on, and it would go into the fridge to sit overnight.
So look at that. So it's a little bit drippy because hand-eye coordination is not my strong suit. But and you can see the apples and the blueberries. So you just let this sit overnight.
Yeah. You could also, optional on the recipe was to layer it with yogurt. You could throw the yogurt in. It makes it a little thicker.
Yeah.
Or I like to layer it just for presentation, just for fun. It makes it feel more like a little dessert for
That's
breakfast.
true. That
And
would be pretty.
I guess really in theory, because it's all fresh and natural, you could just eat it like that if you wanted to,
You absolutely could.
right? So if you're impatient, you don't want to wait.
It actually only
you can
needs to
eat it
sit
now.
2 hours to really break down.
Okay.
But overnight gives it just the flavors meld together in a different way.
Oh, wow.
This was so much fun. Thank
I'm
you.
glad you
I
had
really
fun.
love that. I love that. So, Lauren, if people want more of this, where do they go to get it?
They can find me on my website, laurenhelmkay.com, and I have a schedule of events there. I have links to different groups there, and I also have a private Facebook group. We have 2,600 women supporting each other in living a vibrant life, and there's tons of recipes and that kind of thing there.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
This
Yeah,
was
we
so
have
much
fun.
fun.
Because
We
you
have
know
fun.
what? It's all about sharing. It's all about getting the information out there to anybody who needs it and wants it. And I'm so grateful to you for being here today.
Oh, thanks for having
For
me.
showing this great stuff. Thank you so much. Listen, Georgina, do not go away because we have lots more coming up on today's Georgina Life. Well, hello there, Georgina. My gosh, that was a very fast show. It seemed to like go
So
bang,
quick.
so
Yes.
quick.
So quick.
Yes.
So
So
quick.
much. Time flies when you're having fun,
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. That's exactly right. And when you're making overnight oats,
which I'm actually going to try. I promise I will actually try.
they're so
I'm going to have a spoonful of it before I leave the studio. I mean, I was saying off air, Weight Watchers WW, that was the staple for breakfast.
Yes.
Because it just got everything you needed to start your day into that one little, and the food prep, as we know, and to the point that you were making.
Yeah.
Food prep that takes 15 minutes for the week versus 5 hours
Yeah.
Yeah.
is so much more attractive.
That's so true.
We live, a lot of people live very busy lives, right? So we
Yeah.
don't have an 8 hours on a Sunday or whatever day of the week it is for you to prep a full thing of meals. So if I can like bang out a breakfast for a whole week in less than 30 minutes, I'm in.
Well, and I think it's really important to put as much variety in that first meal of the day.
Yep.
I've eaten the same thing, all wheat bagel, every day for 30 years, so that's not exactly exciting, but
You lost me at whole wheat.
Well, you know what's really cool is that I discovered overnight oats a
Yes.
couple of years ago, and what I like is you can have a different breakfast every day.
Yes.
Because honestly, if you just remember your chia seeds, your oats, and your nut milk, in my case,
Yes.
you can add whatever you want in there. So if you want to put chocolate chips in it,
You read
can.
my mind.
Right? Right?
And I would tend to go with alternative milks as well.
For sure.
I just think it adds a little something more
Yeah.
to, being healthy and making choices that, knock on wood, are going to serve us better than no criticism, no judgment, bacon and eggs.
Right.
Well, I don't actually eat the
No, I
bacon,
know.
but you know,
No.
right? Like
Yeah,
that's the
but yeah.
stereotypical bacon and
Yeah.
eggs is the
Well,
standard
and if you
breakfast.
go and if you go out,
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Well, that's true too.
so it's
That's true.
it's easier. But
I just love that. I love
Yeah.
that. And
Today
it
was-
was fun.
such a banger of a show today. Like I couldn't be happier with my first day here and all the fantastic guests that we have and all the stuff that we
well,
learned.
you got dancing, food, lice.
Position 1. See, I still remember. There we go.
And
Make a fist.
And then reindeer hands,
I never knew the reindeer.
and they don't kiss.
And I mean,
No-
I was a
no reindeer
dancer for
kisses.
years. I never knew that.
Yep.
I love that.
That really was kind of sweet.
Yeah.
And those young ladies were absolutely fabulous.
Darling.
I think we
Just-
have to thank them.
Yes.
And I wrote their
Yes.
names down
Oh,
here
did you?
somewhere.
Wonderful.
Yes, I did. Alexa, Isabella, Madeline, and Abby. Thank you so much for
Fabulous.
being here.
You
And
guys
of
were
course,
superstars.
Yes,
of course,
they were
Megan
fabulous. Yes.
who
Yeah.
we have to have back on the show because we were talking about things that require celebratory dancing, things like Robbie Burns Day and things like that. I think it's a great idea to learn something new and to acknowledge that, there are times that we dance specific dances.
Well, and there we are, boldsteps.ca. But it also adds that other layer, culture.
Yes.
Hip hop is specific too.
Right.
So let's just mix it up and
And it's mindful movement. It's exercise with really
Yes.
not feeling like you're exercising because you're dancing, you're having fun.
yeah.
Well, that's really true.
Yeah.
That's really true.
And I love the 3 to 80.
Yeah.
And I love the knees because Georgina, I am really having issues with my knees.
Ouch. Well,
I am starting to.
seriously, when she said that,
Yes.
April,
Yeah.
you said, well, that's it. I'm out of that.
Yeah.
'Cause, the knees, no, I don't have good knees, so forget it. I can't do that one.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll have you know,
Yes.
I do not have head lice. So
We're
good.
starting the week off on a win.
It's a win-win.
But I just love it that the whole conversation is just so matter of fact.
I know.
I mean, we're talking about bugs in your hair.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess when you do that for a living,
Yeah.
you are just sort of very matter of fact, and this is what it is. And I love that reinforcement that it is clean hair,
Yeah.
not dirty hair. And we've got the Lice Squad
yeah.
website up.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's interesting because as
Yeah.
a parent, I still remember the first time Elise came home with head lice. And I thought, oh my gosh, because immediately that's what happens, right? You think,
Yes.
oh my gosh, it's dirty. But
Yes.
then, I had a really wonderful friend named Sandy who had 3 kids that were a little older than mine. So she just sat me down and said, listen, sweetie, don't worry about it. This is kind of normal
Yeah.
Yeah.
because now it's not like when we were kids. When I was a kid in school, we had a locker. Like everybody had their own locker.
Yeah.
So you put your own mitts and your hats in your locker.
Yeah.
And we never really thought about it. We really never talked about it. And now everything is communal, right? So they've just got the hooks and you throw all your hats and
Yeah.
scarves and so they can all intermingle up there and have a party.
Well,
I know.
Let's move on because I'm getting the heebie-jeebies.
Well, I know when I saw the images was a little. I just have to share something from the anniversary. When we were setting up to do the clip with
Yes.
Joe and Jordan, thank you.
Yes.
And I was sitting down on the couch and getting very, very comfortable doing what we tell our guests never to do, and that is to sit and thank you very much, Alan. Kept doing this, trying to get me to move. And I'm just looking around the cameras, having a fabulous time, and then all of a sudden it hit me like, no, Grant, sit back. Don't sit on an angle and look at the camera in front of you. And I just thought, oh my gosh, after 5 seasons, I still don't know how to sit on the couch.
That's okay.
That's just a little amusing personal anecdote, Georgina, that will make your day, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh.
But that was so funny.
Well, can you believe it? We only have like
Gosh.
1 minute before we have to say goodbye. But how was your first day? Be quick.
I'm so happy and I'm so thankful, and it's really nice to hang out with you guys and the Georgina Life family. But thank you for those watching at home for allowing me into your home. I think that's really nice, and I hope I make you all proud.
That's so great.
Very sweet. Thank
That's
you.
so great. Well, it's good to be back. Good to
Yes.
see you, Grant. And
Good to see
April,
you, my
you did a
love.
wonderful
Thank
job.
Yes.
you. Thank you.
And thank you at home, Georgina, for always being there, for tuning in, for everything that you do. And don't forget, we do have an email address, and we'd love to hear from you. And I guess, first show of the new season is done. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you on the next Georgina Life. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.